Hey guys, Mark here with Walter's World, and we're in Vienna, Austria, outside the Schönbrunn Palace, okay? Vienna is definitely one of the top 10 cities you want to come check out when you're coming to Europe. Now, this video is one of my 5 love and hates video, but this is more directed to Americans and stuff that are looking to come to Europe, but you're not really sure what to expect. So it's kind of like your first time travels to Europe. So what should you expect in terms of the good stuff and the bad stuff? Now, these are very broad generalizations, so don't get offended if I'm offending your country or your culture. It's just to give tourists from America some ideas. So you guys in Portugal that are going to be pissed off, this isn't for you. And you Germans that are saying, we have good service. Hey, this is just to give people from the U.S. an idea of things they're going to love and they're going to hate about when they come to Europe, okay? Now, the 5 things, I always like to start with the bad news first, okay? Because people really are worried when they're going to a new country or a new culture where they don't speak the language. They get really freaked out. So, you know, I always like to get the bad news to make it feel even worse, and then the good news, okay? So let's go with the 5 things you're going to notice and probably not like too much about your trip to Europe. First off, Europe, if you have limited accessibility or limited mobility, you know, example, if you're old and you use a walker, or if you're in a wheelchair, or you know, you come with a lot of kids or things like that, you should realize that Europe is not handicap accessible, okay? You're not going to be able to get around. Now, I can't expect this beautiful 300, 200, 350-year-old or 300, 200-year-old, you know, palace to be handicap accessible, because they didn't do that back then. You can't expect castles built hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, to be a handicap accessible. But you'll notice even new things like metros or subways, buses, new buildings really aren't that handicap accessible. So you'll go around saying, hey, I need help with my bags, I want to take the elevator or an escalator, and you'll see a lot of them don't work, a lot of things just aren't there, or there is no handicap accessibility. So be prepared for that. So if you have limited mobility, make sure you check with one of the organizations, I'll put some on the website, organization for limited mobility traveling through Europe, okay? Because you got, I mean, you can have a good time. A friend of mine, she brought her mom here who's confined to a wheelchair, and she had a good time going through Europe, but they had to prepare ahead. So that's one thing you're not going to like. It is not handicap accessible or limited mobility accessible, okay? The second thing you're not going to like, you know, if you're from the U.S., you're used to paying with credit card all the time. Guys, here in Europe, cash wins, okay? Your credit cards, yes, they will work a lot of places, your hotels, a lot of the restaurants, but not all of them, you know, and all the little stuff. I mean, you can pay at McDonald's, but you can't pay a lot of other restaurants, okay? And we're not here to eat McDonald's, we're here to eat local stuff. So you're going to need to make sure you have cash, all right? Now, in terms of your cash, make sure that you get your PIN code for your credit card, and you tell your bank that you're going to be gone so you can get money out, because your best exchange rate is through the ATM. And again, cash wins here. And your credit cards and all this stuff, you think, well, I don't have a PIN number. Call your bank and get one, because you're going to be using cash, okay? So remember that. Credit cards, you're screwed. Cash always wins, okay? But there's ATMs all over, so don't take out too much cash at once, or don't just have thousands of euros in your pocket. Have some cash, you know, there, and then when you need it, you can take it out with your ATM, okay? Now, the next thing you're going to hate about coming here is, guys, this is going to sound so American, but the toilets. Guys, you'll go to Italy, you'll go to Lithuania, and sometimes you'll just have a hole in the ground. Just telling you, I'm just preparing you. I'm used to it. It doesn't bother me. I'm just telling you, if your first time, you might get surprised of the lack of facilities. Lack of toilet paper, so make sure you bring a little with you. You may want to bring some of your toilet seat covers. See, my wife, she has me bring them. See, I have them here. I'm still pretty tough. I can do my 3-point stamp squat. But, you know, be prepared. The bathrooms probably aren't going to be what you're up to. What I found is, if you're a bigger guy like myself, the little tiny toilets, you got to kind of stick it in to do everything at once. So be prepared for that. And the holes in the ground. Also, a lot of countries you're going to have to pay. So you go to Germany, a lot of times you have to pay €1 or 50 cents to use the restroom. So be prepared for that. So have your coins in your hand. If your wife or your kids are going to the bathroom, give them some change so when they go, they can get in. Okay? Now, some other stuff you're going to hate about when you're coming to Europe. I mean, again, these are just little things. It's nothing bad. Just little annoyances that Americans tend to complain about. And I'd rather you guys know about it beforehand so you don't sound really stupid on the trains, because I hear a lot of loud Americans on the trains, and it's kind of embarrassing. So, also check out our video, How Not to Be an Ugly American While Traveling. It's on our YouTube site, and it's also on here on our videos. Okay? Now, the fourth thing you're not going to like is, you know, you think you're going to come here and I'm going to enjoy a nice night's rest in Vienna or Munich or whatever. Guys, the beds suck here. I'm not going to lie to you. The beds suck. Slats, whatever. There's always a crack in the middle. I mean, if you get a bed without a crack, hey, you're doing good. Most of the time, it's just your double bed is just 2 singles smushed together. So if you're looking to come make a baby or something like that on your romantic trip to Europe, well, you're going to have to look up some interesting positions or something, because the beds crack and they come apart. So I'm just warning you, okay? Don't expect the comfort of your, you know, California king bed or whatever, okay? So just be prepared, all right? The beds are pretty crappy here, okay? The fifth thing that you're going to hate of the 5 bad things about coming to Europe is service. If you're used to having your waiter come and say, is everything okay? What else can I get you? Would you like a hot towel? Whatever. Or at stores, would you like some help? Can I get a different size? You're not going to get that here. Maybe in England. England, the UK, you usually be okay. Ireland. Outside of that, service is pretty slack, okay? They don't really care. A lot of places, they don't get tips, or they get hardly any tips. They get paid a wage, so it doesn't really matter to them, okay? So be prepared for bad service. So don't get upset. That's just the way it is here, okay? And make sure you check out if you tip in the country you're going to, or how much you should tip, things like that, okay? So the bad service. So these are the 5 things you're going to not like about when you come to Europe, okay, in general. For Americans, okay? So Europeans, please don't bitch. I get so tired of your silly emails. First thing, not handicap accessible or limited accessibility. And even in Germany, I still remember people telling me, oh, well, handicapped people like to stay inside. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I've heard that multiple times, and it is really, really sad. Okay, second thing you're going to hate about it is cash wins. You're always going to need cash. Your credit cards aren't going to help you as much as you're used to it. Third thing you're going to hate about here are the toilets. Okay? Gonna have to pay for toilets, or it's gonna be a tiny toilet or a hole in the ground sometimes, and sometimes they're fine, but I'm just saying be prepared, okay? Fourth thing you're gonna hate about it is the crappy hotel beds, because believe me, crappy hotel beds are just a fact of life here in Europe. It's not just hotels, they have apartments and houses as well, okay? So just be prepared. And the fifth thing is bad service. People are not, I mean, the people are great, but for some reason when they get in the service industry, they lose all their niceties, okay? So be prepared for the bad service. And I'm going to throw in a sixth thing you're not going to like is there's a lot of pickpockets in the main cities. I mean, in the U.S. there's pickpockets, but it's not the same as you have in Europe. So in Rome on the metro, okay, you need to have your wallet in your front pocket with your hand in there, okay? If you're in Barcelona, there's all kinds of bag thieves that'll knock some mustard on you and they're like, oh, let me help you get that off, and their friend runs off. You guys, watch it. We have videos. We have a video on not getting robbed by thieves in Barcelona. Well, we filmed it in Barcelona, so you get some ideas. So check those out, okay? So sixth one is all the the beggars and the thieves and stuff like that. They just make it annoying when you're traveling around, okay? And the cops don't seem to do much about them, so it's not like in the U.S. where they shoo them away to have them go annoy other people. They just kind of let them sit here, okay? Now, that's the things you're going to hate. Now, like I said, I like to give you all the bad news, okay? But none of this stuff is little things you'll get used to. Now that you know about it, it's not even going to bother you. But what are the things you're going to love about coming to Europe? Because, guys, I've lived in Europe for about 12 years now. It is a great place, okay? You're going to love coming here. Now, what are the 5 things you're going to love the most? First off, the sights. Guys, you're going to go see the Colosseum in Rome. You're going to see Westminster Abbey. You're going to see Schönbrunn Palace. You're going to see Oktoberfest. You're going to see all these places you've been seeing on TV, movies, and everything for years and years and years. You're going to see them all. And you're going to say, wow, I was there in Rome. I saw that when I was in Rome. I saw that when I was in Berlin. I touched the wall. You're going to see all these things and just be like, wow, the sights will change you, because then you get a better idea of what's going on there, okay? The second thing you're going to love about going to Europe is, guys, public transport here is great. You never have to rent a car. You can take a bus, a train, a metro, a tram, a taxi, whatever, to get you anywhere you want. And there's even cheap airlines. I mean, you think Southwest is cheap? Guys, EasyJet and Ryanair have them beat by a mile, okay? So, you can get around everywhere you want, even small villages, small towns. You can get to with public transport easily, safely, without a problem, and it makes it great. So you don't have to rent a car. So if you're in Pilsen, Czech Republic, you can drink some Pilsner beer and not have to worry about drinking and driving. If you're in Bordeaux, you can drink Bordeaux wine and not worry about it, because public transport is amazing here in Europe. Okay. The third thing you're going to love about coming to Europe is, guys, I know I talk to a lot of Americans that are thinking about coming to Europe, and they're kind of scared because, like, well, I don't speak German, or I don't speak French, or I don't speak Spanish, or I don't speak Portuguese. Guys, it's okay. It's the tourist industry. Not all the Germans speak Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese. They speak English, so when they go travel, they can communicate. And English is kind of the base language in Europe. The young people all learn it. Even the older people know some of it as well, and especially in the tourist industry, you don't have to be worried about the English, because not everybody speaks it, but a lot of people do speak it, so you're not going to have any problems, okay? The next thing you're going to love about coming to Europe, number 4, is you're going to see the real Europe. Okay, you've always heard the stories, oh, well, my grandma's Spätzle, German noodles, that's the real deal, and my grandpa, he used to eat sugar on his tomatoes. That's how they do it in Germany. And oh, well, my mom makes the best pizza because she got the recipe straight from Italy. Guys, you're going to go and eat and you're going to find out what real Europe is in terms of real European food. Okay, because guys, you're going to go to Italy and have pizza, and you're like, well, this isn't like pizza I'm used to at home. You're right. That's how it's how it's supposed to be. When you go to Rome, it's going to be Roma style. You're going to go to Naples, and you're going to have Napoli style pizza, and what it's really like. You're going to go to Germany, and you're going to have beer like it's supposed to taste. You're going to come here to Vienna and have Wiener Schnitzel like it's supposed to be, and you're going to be like, wow, now I understand what real European food is. Okay, so that's number 4. See real Europe, or feel the real European foods. And the 5th thing you're going to love about Europe, it's one thing I love the most, the reason why I've been here for so long, is the people. Guys, Europeans are great. Everywhere you go, you tell them, hey, I'm coming here to visit France, I'm here to visit Spain, I'm here to visit Slovenia. They get so happy because, like, hey, foreigners are coming here to see our country, and they're so proud of their countries. They know the history and stuff like that, and it's almost like every single person is like a mini tour guide, and they will be able to tell you anything you want. And what's great is if you befriend most Europeans, if you befriend them, you got a friend for life. They're really cool. You might come back and see them, they'll come and see you. It's great. Okay, so the 5 things you're going to love about coming to Europe: 1, the sights, seeing the Colosseum and all these great things. Any country has it. The Plaza Toros in Madrid, all kinds of stuff. You're gonna love the sights. 2nd thing you're gonna love is the good public transport that will take you anywhere you want to go in Europe, so you don't even have to worry about driving anywhere around. And fast, efficient, all kinds of stuff. 3rd thing you're gonna love: English is the base language, guys. You're not gonna have to worry about not understanding anything, okay? Because there'll be an English menu. People will speak English, and they will help you out, okay? Next thing you're gonna love, number 4, is you're gonna see the real Europe. You're gonna see the real food of Europe, okay, and experience it and know what the real food is. And believe me, you're going to go on your trip, and all these walking and all the sights you're going to go see, you're going to eat a lot more than the cows you burn off walking around. So make sure you don't bring clothes that are too tight, because you're going to eat your way through Europe and love it, okay? And then the 5th thing you're going to love about Europe are the Europeans. Whether they're kind of the stoic Germans that warm up when you become real friends with them, or the crazy Spanish that are just, well, crazy, or the Slovakians who seem kind of, laid back and chilled, but will take you around their country to go hiking at a drop of a hat. Okay, so you guys, if you're Americans and you're worried about traveling to Europe, you should, because there's so much to love, and there are some things to hate about it, but it is not something to keep you from coming here. Okay, and remember, St. Louis to New York is only about $200 cheaper than St. Louis to London. So hey, think of it that way, guys. So have a great trip to Europe. I hope this helps you out. For more videos about different countries, learning different languages, all kinds of stuff, come check out our website at www.waltersworld.com. It's Walters with an O, because we like to be a little bit different, okay? So I'll give you one little view of foggy Schönbrunn Castle, and I'm sure I'm over on my time, but oh well, you get the idea. So have a great trip. Bye.